We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Heyo, episode 195, No Brains, No Headache podcast. Getting it started off right about now. My name's Jordan. I'm going to be your host today, as always. Good to be here. Happy to be back in the stooge. Just me and my sidekick, back to the roots of the podcast. Some call him Ongo. His name is Matt Cleary, and he's wearing a Dynamite outfit today. Hello, Matthew.
How we doing?
Doing okay, you know.
Yeah, you know.
we debated right before we got started. It's just like, do we need to start posting on a different day? You know, the Sunday, the Monday recordings, not at 100, usually ever, due to previous decisions made. But I'm gonna live with them. Okay, I'm gonna be a man about it, and I'm gonna lick my wounds.
I found out there a new way of doing nose drugs as being called doing nose nachos.
Well, you beat me to it. That was
and I slipped it into a board meeting today, and everyone thought it was hilarious.
Said nose nachos, huh?
Yeah. Somehow cocaine got brought up.
It's a hell of a board meeting.
It was fun, but yeah.
Sounds fun, given the context and the content of said board meeting, so that's good. Don't you remember, didn't you learn anything from last week? What you say on this podcast could dramatically affect your professional career.
Good.
Apparently. At this point, I think Matt's just trying to get fired because he can't, but it's just like you try what you can't do. You know, you do the impossible.
I mean, it's a weird goal to have, but if someone's got to do it, I'm glad it's me.
Yeah, Nose Nachos is Dynamite, copyright NBNH. Feel free to use it, though.
It's a kind of makes copyright moot point, but
scoot over, Nose Beers. Say hello to Nose Nachos. And yeah, that's definitely going to be a wicked term going forward. What's the solar eclipse about?
I have no idea, and it didn't even affect us.
I guess I appreciate the fact that, we are acknowledging, science, I guess. Would you just classify it as science in general? That itself is cool. What bothers a guy is when you post pictures of the goddamn sun with your phone. It doesn't work. It's just kind of like fuzzy. I don't want to see it.
The last eclipse we had the greatest meme of all time of when they're like, "Don't look into the sun," and then there was President Trump just immediately looking into the sun.
I mean, eclipse or not, are you just not supposed to look at the sun? Don't you remember as a kid, you doing it on purpose? You close your eyes, you're seeing stars.
I mean, we used to do that thing, I don't know if you ever did it, but where you spin in a circle and you're looking up.
Then you chug a beer.
And then someone shines a flashlight in your face and you just fall over.
No.
It's called star tipping. It's all fun and games till you do it in someone's backyard that has a dog and you just fall into a big pile of shit.
Well, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's how that goes right there.
It's a life lesson if I've ever seen it.
I don't know. I'm out on the solar eclipse. What are you thinking?
It was so overblown. I looked on Twitter before this, or X, if you will, and it was trending, and 340,000 people tweeted about it.
Dude, I saw friends' stories who I thought were dead. They're alive and well watching the solar eclipse. That's nice.
You haven't posted on social media in 3 years, and your return to glory is of an eclipse?
Oh, no, I unfollowed them right away. Blocked.
Yeah. Friends is a real loose term around here.
Acquaintance.
It literally, it went through, if we're looking at the map, it went through, Texas and then kind of, diagonaled up through Indiana. It affected us in North Dakota hardly at all, and people were buying those stupid, 3D glasses so that they can look at it. And I was like, yeah, we're going to take our kids out of school to go look at the eclipse for 4 minutes. And it's like, you know what? This is why we're failing as a society.
Yeah, I remember there was like something like that when I was in college, and I lived in the darkest apartment, just a downtown apartment. Matter of fact, my room was not up to fire code. It was a den. If there was a fire, I would have died. And I remember we were just lounging out, like watching Game of Thrones, heavy into the Thrones at the time. And I remember we went out to the back alleyway. I like kind of looked up in the sky. I was like, let's just go back. Like, what are we doing here? Let's go back into the darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The last one that came, it was probably the same one you're talking about. I came out of the office and everyone's like, oh, it's colder. Yeah, because the moon's in front of the sun.
Is that what's happening? The moon makes the lateral move?
It basically goes in front of the sun, but it's so small that it only blocks it out for like about 4.5 minutes.
I mean, you know me. I have a policy of half-day Mondays, so I wasn't very conscious for a better portion of the afternoon, but wasn't it cloudy here?
Yeah, so like you couldn't see it at all, and people were still jazzed up about it. It's like, I know there's not a lot going on in North Dakota, but if you have to say that and you're still going outside to an overcast, rainy day, reevaluate your life.
All right. As a consensus, we're out on the solar eclipse. Moving on.
Canceled. Morgan Wallen was in the news from this weekend. It came out today or yesterday, if you're listening to this.
I saw this.
He did what we've all wanted to do, and he threw a chair off of a 6-story bar. And then
like into a crowd of people or what?
No, it landed on the sidewalk next to 2 police officers. So like there really wasn't a lot getting away.
And it was in fact Wallen.
Yeah, and it clearly on tape of him throwing it and then just laughing. And everyone's like, "Oh, how would he laugh about that?" I'm like, I don't know. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
To the window, to the Wallen. You know what I mean?
I was like, and then of course he gets arrested. But it's like,
what kind of chair are we talking?
I think it was like a bar stool.
Okay.
Or like ones that
that's
had like
important to ask.
A back or something. But it's like, that's everyone wants to do that. Like when you're up on a rooftop bar, majority of what I'm thinking about at that bar is what I could get away with throwing off the roof.
It's just being in any elevated surface, throwing stuff off a bridge. I don't do it. I'm not on bridges very often with objects to throw it, but it sounds like fun.
And it's not a great couple weeks for bridges, if we're being completely honest with ourselves.
If you're in bridges right now, you're taking a hit.
Unless you're building them, then I got one project that you might be able to help out on.
You should have sold on bridges like a month ago and you'd be sitting fine. But if you're currently heavily invested in bridges, it's not great. The market's just bad right now.
I mean, besides the fact that people died, the funny part about it though is, could you imagine someone that like woke up and like didn't check the news and were like, "Oh, on my way to work," and then they get there and they're like, "Well, this bridge is gone."
That would be me. I have no idea. I had to have somebody explain to me this whole P. Diddy situation, and even they couldn't really explain it, so I don't think we got very far on that, but I haven't been in the news lately at all. This Morgan Wallen stuff is great to hear.
It's a good relief of the news because the P. Diddy stuff's pretty dark. Apparently Beyonce is about to get canceled for it.
Really?
Yeah, so
they're like planning an upcoming announcement canceling?
I think there's something that was found and it hasn't been like put out there yet, but apparently there's a lot. It's
I love how we're anticipating it.
It's like, similar to like the Epstein list. Like you're like, oh, here we go. Because there's going to be some names that are dropped that you're going to be like, oh my God.
Are we just experiencing a massive turnover in celebrity status because they're all pedophiles?
I mean, kind of.
That's what I feel. Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening right now.
Or there's like pockets like of gangs of them.
Oh, but does anything ever come out of these? I want to see convictions. I want to see celebrities in cuffs headed to the pen.
See, I think P. Diddy like literally went to Panama. Or like Costa Rica.
He definitely. I like found out via another podcast that he flew to an island where they don't have extradition, I believe is the term.
What if he flew to Epstein's island?
Yeah, it's like, damn it.
Of all the islands I could have chosen.
So, I mean, it's I would agree with that move. You know, if I was in a similar situation, it's like, well, I'm just going to go to the island, but it's kind of also a dead giveaway that you're guilty.
Yeah, if you
what's coming your way,
you run immediately.
I mean, you could just be stranded on an island forever, I guess.
There was this case in North Dakota where the guy, it was a husband and wife, and they were clearly guilty of this. And then in the middle of the night, they just packed up and left from like the western side of the state and went to Minnesota. And they got caught there, and they're like, "Why did you guys flee?" And they're like, "We weren't fleeing. We had plans to move here." It's like, your husband didn't even quit his job. You guys left in the morning, like 3 a.m.
Like packed in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we weren't fleeing. We were planning on moving 400 miles away.
That's a brutal move, but you know, all this stuff in the news, P. Diddy stuff, not great to hear. Morgan Wallen stuff, happy nobody got hurt, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
It's hilarious.
Good for him. He just stays hot, you know. He got like canceled that one time. I believe it was a racist comment. He had to apologize for making out with beautiful sorority girls at a college. I don't know why you'd have to apologize for such a thing, but
he apologized to giving a bunch of Alabama co-eds syphilis, but other than that, he's not doing too bad.
I don't know why you have to apologize to the public for giving somebody syphilis. Maybe to them, maybe buy them a cake. That would probably make things a little bit better, but you know, he just stays hot. That's definitely you know, it's like if you're a Panthers fan and somebody of the Panthers gets arrested, you kind of like feel a certain way. That's how I feel about Wallen right now. But I'm proud.
I mean, it happened. So I've been getting into sports cards, you know, and I got this pretty sweet Rashid Rice rookie card.
Okay.
And I sent it in to get grading. And literally 20 minutes after I sent it in to get grading, it came out that he was going like 140 miles per hour and caused a 5-car crash.
Yes, the old jinx. You know, you think you got a hot one on your hand, you jump the gun a little bit, and then we're drag racing in Dallas. So that's fun.
I mean, no one got seriously injured, and he fessed up to it. He's like, "That's my bad."
This was very close to being a Henry Ruggs 2.0 situation, and that's, if you know, you know.
He's one dead body away from it being a Henry Ruggs situation.
Professional athletes, especially NFL wide receivers, seems to be the theme here. They can't help themselves but buy luxury vehicles and race them.
I mean, if Fast and Furious didn't come out, we might not be in this situation.
Such a good start to a film franchise and a terrible end.
Dude, I love the ending ones.
Okay, before we get into the Fast and Furious, let's start this bitch off, huh? What do you say?
Okay. Let's party.
Matt, you were out of town.
Yeah, so I went down to Omaha to visit my dad and my brother and his wife. And I did the classic drink vodka cranberries on my first class flight.
Yeah, you've been known to put up some numbers. All right, so Bismarck to Minneapolis, what are we talking?
I only had 2 because they didn't give me one to start out the flight.
Usually, how long is the flight?
50 minutes.
Okay.
But usually they give me one, I slam it, and then they're like, "Do you want another one before we take off?" And then I go, "Yes, please." And then they come by the first time and I get one. So I usually have 4.
And they don't let the peasants in the back do that, right?
No, it's
pre-flight drinks.
Pre-flight drinks is game changer. And the second flight they did that, but I only had 1. So then I had 3 total on that flight. So I was 5 in when I got to Omaha.
So Minneapolis to Omaha, you had the 3.
Yep.
Does the cranberry juice just run right through a guy, or how do you handle that?
Not really. I think it protects against UTIs or something too.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and I don't think I have one, but
yeah,
you have a Diane yeast infection.
I mean, have you been cream pied lately? Because if not, then that helps.
I think I'm okay then. But we get to Omaha, we go to like a brewery, and then like eat dinner or whatever, and then I finish out my night drinking apple brandy.
Okay, so we're doing vodka crayons on the flight. Then you go to a brewery, so you're drinking some sort of craft brew.
It was like a light beer that I had.
Still, though, it's made at the joint. They're not bringing in Bud Light to a brewery, Busch Light, whatever you drink. And Then you go to apple brandy?
Yeah, went to this place by my dad's, and they make their own apple brandy, and it is strong as shit.
So you were just drinking homemade swill this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I started out with your. Can't imagine they're using a good vodka on an airline, but maybe they are.
What is it, Delta?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what Delta does.
maybe like a Grey Goose.
That's what my immediate thought was definitely a Grey Goose.
Yeah,
But-
but because they didn't give the little shooters out, sometimes they do that. They'll give you like a cup of ice and then like a little cranberry juice and then a shooter. I kind of
Don't you dare ask for it on the plane like that, though.
No.
Can I get a couple shooters? He's got a gun.
Take him down. It was the dumbest thing ever. So on the way back, I'm obviously licking my wounds from like a couple days of drinking, and I'm like,
It's a circle of life, man. It's
and
a
I was
beautiful
like-
thing.
and they're coming through. I'm like, oh, can I get a Coke? And they're like, we only have coffee, tea, or booze. And I was like,
The worst things possible.
yeah. It was essentially like, hey, can I get a Diet Coke? And they're like, is Diet Pepsi okay? I'm like, I'll just do a margarita.
We're like, that's fine. Can I get an empty cup and you just go into the bathroom and
Yeah,
get some toilet water?
yeah. But so I was hurting the next day, and walked around this park, and I actually got you something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Just
I got
full of
you some
presents.
stickers.
Oh, I love stickers. Live, laugh, toaster bath. That one's good. DF?
Dumpster fire.
Oh, dumpster fire. Oh, yeah, I guess I should look at the picture. Wow, Matt. Thank you. You're just giving me gifts lately. Is that your love language, gift giving?
I don't like receiving gifts. I like giving them though.
Yeah, so that's your love language.
Yeah,
Oh, you're true romantic.
yeah.
Ladies, want some toaster bath stickers and a puka shell necklace? Then that is your man. I would wear the puka shell, but I'm wearing the sweatshirt. I don't, I'm going to start wearing that out, though.
That'd be a power move.
For sure. I'm excited about it.
Oh, but
Thank you.
we went to a AAA baseball game. The Cubs were in town.
The Omaha who?
Storm Chasers.
Storm Chasers.
And a couple things at a AAA game. So there's the MLB, and then there's 600 feet of shit, and then
Then it's AAA?
Then it's AAA.
So I actually did learn earlier today there's 6 levels,
Yeah,
actually.
AAA, AA, high A, low A.
I believe it's called A and A+, and then rookie ball.
Yeah.
And in the other order, rookie, A+, AA, AAA, MLB.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet if you start out like low and you're not like 17.
No, I read a thread on X, if you will, and it was about a minor league player just like going through his like career, and he was explaining all those levels and how it's like, hundreds and hundreds of guys who were the best guy on their previous team now are on a good team because they just gathered all the best guys. They're all playing for one spot, pretty much, depending pitcher, fielder, whatever. You're all playing for one spot essentially.
You were literally hoping someone blows an ACL so you can like, oh, nice, I might get a call up.
Yeah, and you and your teammates are playing with each other, but also against each other too. It's kind of like us and this fellow stand-up comedians.
It's
like,
very
hey, I
similar.
want you to do well, but god damn it, do not be funnier than me. By any means, you can be slightly less funny, but do not be funnier than I.
It's like we're all in
And
this
then they
together,
are, and it's like,
but
fuck, I suck.
yeah. Or it's like, yeah, to open mic, like someone does really well, and you're like, fuck,
Yeah, douche.
gay.
I think that's why we all like give each other crap. It's just we're suppressing our real feelings about
Yeah,
each other.
That we all hate each other.
I'm just saying, if you get a fuck you chant going your direction, take it personal because it is.
Yeah. I mean, and so this game, it was pretty cold out, and there was maybe like 500 people there.
Really?
And
Why is that? What do you think the capacity of the stadium was?
Probably 5,000.
Okay, so we're sitting at a nice 10%. You think it's just too early in the season?
Well, it was on Easter, so I think that took a lot away from it.
I don't want to go on a tangent about how Easter is a crock of shit holiday, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a baseball game as God intended.
Easter, it's just what is it? What are we doing here? I don't know.
But they one of the concession stand place. I was like, oh, there's no line here. And it was called Hot Dog Nation. And I was disappointed that they didn't sell anything else than hot dogs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's disappointed that they didn't sell hot dogs.
No, I was like, what's the nacho situation here? He's like, we only sell hot dogs. And I was like, kind of thinking about it. A place called Hot Dog Nation makes sense now. But I did get a dog. I got a Hawaiian dog. Now, I didn't expect this to be very good, but pineapple, teriyaki mayo on a hot dog, pretty fucking good.
It's going to open up the debate of does pineapple belong in hot dogs?
I think it does. I thought it was very good. It was a really good quality hot dog.
Getting hungry again.
Yeah.
It's our weekly ritual of mentioning food slightly.
And then I was drinking like Busch Light Tall Boys as you do at a baseball game. And we sat front row right next to the Cubs on deck circle.
Who are the Cubs? Who are the hot shots on the AAA squad?
Bodie was on there, but he didn't play that day. Alex Canario, he didn't play that day.
Oh, okay. So.
Pete Crow Armstrong played, batted leadoff. Owen Casey, he's going to be a stud, just a huge ginge.
See, now I know who all the future players of the Cubs are.
Hayden Wisniewski, he actually pitched when we were in Minneapolis last year. He started the game that they won.
Okay.
He pitched like 3 shutout innings, but like it was the second batter. So PCA got on base to start out the game. He clearly struck out, but the ref or the ump was just like he clearly went, and they're like, nope. And he's like, all right. And he like went to first.
Okie dokie.
And then like the second pitch of the second batter, a guy just hits a dong shot, and then no one else scores the rest of the game. 2-0.
So it's 2-0, 2 batters in, and then no scoring.
Yeah. And there was one of the prospects. I had a couple beers, and then I was at the point where I'm like, I want popcorn. So I'm just hammering down popcorn. And he comes up to the on deck circle, and I have like a mitt full of popcorn in my mouth, and he just looks at me and goes, is the popcorn any good?
Wait, who did this?
Bryce Wyndham.
Dude, I bet you just had that look in your eyes, just a blank stare.
Oh, and I was like,
honestly, he probably thought you were with some sort of foundation.
I was wearing a Bodie Wrigleyville jersey, and then like Matt Mervis was playing too, and like he came up, and I was like, hey Matt, my name's also Matt. Just being as dumb as I can.
Did he acknowledge?
He just kind of like looked at me and then looked away. He's like,
wow. You go to it's such a drop off, like you said, from the MLB. Like we went to last May Twins Cubs. We were up top. There's thousands of people there. We're in a big city, a big market. Things are awesome, and then you go to AAA, and you're literally just having a full on conversation while chowing down some popcorn.
Yeah, he's like, hey, is the popcorn any good? And I was like, it was pretty good popcorn. But then I was like, yeah, and I was like, got pretty nice weather up here. Like, I didn't really know what to say.
You went with weather?
I said something along the lines of like, got a pretty good turnout today. And he's like, yeah, Omaha sucks.
So then you just lied.
Yeah. Well, I was like looking around. There's no one in the stands besides me. Just
hell of a crowd. It's just like nobody.
And there was like a kid's birthday party there, and it was like an 8-year-old's birthday party, and one of the kids in the group was just screaming the entire time, like anytime they would come on the Jumbotron. And like there was getting a collective of people who are like, I've never hit a kid, but I'm pretty tempted right now.
Matthew, how dare you? No.
But then, so the guy that hit the home run, he was in the on deck circle, and Pete Crow Armstrong was batting, and he had one of those at bats that was like 15 pitches. And he just kept fouling things off. And then I'm like, fouled one off, and it kept just like smoking something like. And I'm like, at this point, he's just doing fucking property damage. And the guy in the on deck circle just started laughing.
Nice. Made them laugh. That's always good. Wow, I feel like I'm just getting like a recap of like a date you were on or something. It sounds like it's like talking points you went with.
Yeah.
Eating popcorn very disgustingly, it sounds.
just covered in popcorn. And then like my sister-in-law, like she was sitting like, I think like my sister was sitting next to me, and she went to get a beer, and then my sister-in-law was sitting there, and I'm like talking to this guy, And then like he walks up, she's like, "Are you friends with him?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm totally friends with someone on the Iowa Cubs."
Well, now you are.
Yeah, best friends actually. We follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah, you should follow the whole team and then DM them all.
Oh, I
And
did.
And then get banned from the ballpark because they took out an injunction against you.
Yeah, it was kind of cool though, because the Cubs have this relief pitcher who I think his name's like Richard Lovelady. And if it comes
Dick
out,
Lovelady?
if it comes out that he killed someone, I am not going to be shocked because he has sociopath eyes. And like he was like talking to himself like as he was leaving the field, and the umps came to check him for substances like they do, and he was just like mad about it, like threw his glove on the ground.
Really?
And like,
Jesus, an emotional case out
you know
there.
how they like don't like to step on the first base line as they're leaving the field?
I think
like,
it's any line.
Yeah. But he would like get a running start and like sprint and jump over it and like just talking to himself the entire time. Like, this guy's going to kill someone.
Yeah. Do you think this is the type of guy who like baseball's been his whole life and he didn't really learn how to like socialize with other people?
I could totally.
And you said he's a relief pitcher?
Yeah. He reminds me
That's
of,
why he's relief.
he reminds me of, on the movie Little Big League, when they have the one relief pitcher who's like a crazy person and they're like, "You got to go take him out of the game. He doesn't like to be taken out."
You got to have all sorts of personality traits on a good, baseball squad. So,
And they do the pitch review in AAA that they haven't implemented in Major League now.
just testing it out.
And it's awesome. So like it's super quick. So like if you get a pitch that you think was a ball and they called a strike, you just tap your head and then it goes up on the scoreboard, and it does like that tennis thing where it has like
It shows the trajectory of the
and
ball.
then it says ball or strike, and no matter what it says and who's in the crowd, the umpire just gets so much shit. It's like one of them happened and he kept just getting it wrong, because whenever they challenge, they were like,
Do you have a limit you can do?
I think it's like 3. If you get 3 wrong,
in
you're
that
done.
bat? Or
No,
in the whole game?
in the whole game.
Okay.
So if you get like 3 wrong, then you can't challenge anymore.
Jeez, this is like trivia rules.
And it was sweet
Baseball.
though, like because the players won the challenge most of the time, but like it probably happened like 6 or 8 times. But like every time it happened and the ump got it wrong, there would just be a guy from the back that'd be like, "Maybe I'll get the next one, you pussy." And it's like, wow.
You got to be ruthless. One of my go-tos when I'm at a baseball game, I go with the hard ball and the cucumbas. Rally. Pitcher's name is Sally, and then sometimes I like to who with it. Who. And then last year when I was in Florida around this time, spring training, I went to a Tigers game. Can't remember who they played, but the pitcher's name was Kelly. So played right into my hand, and I was getting obnoxious with it because it's like, dude, that's what happens at baseball games. Like, if you're being absurd, swearing a lot, like you shouldn't do that out of courtesy for everyone around you. But who's stopping you from yelling at these guys? That's cheering. I'm just cheering them on. So yeah, I get a couple drinks in the system, release your inhibitions, and then start saying that. I kept doing it, and the dude looked over at me at one point because he was just getting pissed. But
Well, early on in the Cubs season, I know we'll get to more MLB talk here in a little bit, but apparently the bleachers are becoming a real problem.
at Wrigley,
A lot of fights.
well, it's
Early on,
early in the season.
And it's like, oh man, this could be a long year. But the bleacher is like sovereign nation. It is whatever. Like cup snakes are back. There are no rules right now.
I think that's what the Cubs need to do if they want to make a deep run. They need to have the crowd elevate them.
Well, and they're trying to apparently they're trying to get Seiya's attention. And it's like, dude, he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, if we are educated fans, we would learn. Is he
Japanese?
Japanese, yeah. Learn a foreign language to get your favorite player's attention.
I don't know if you know this, but the people in the bleachers, myself included, they're going there for one reason only. And that is to drink as many beers as possible.
Try not to get the tops of your knees sunburnt, too.
Yeah. That's it's a kind of a lower one, but yeah.
That is key. Baseball is back. Like, it's official. Everybody's started up. Matt went and checked out a game, AAA.
You know, you have to scout.
But that sounds like a good time. Good for you. Did you have any more about Omaha?
Yeah, one thing that's not baseball related. What?
Or is it Omaha? How do we say?
Omaha,
Hi.
Ohio.
Yes.
What's too much to pay for mini golf?
Like a round?
Yep.
Dude, I don't know. I haven't been mini golfing in years, so I don't even know what a base is. I guess here, let me get into my frugal mindset.
If you're going to, let's just say a place, you're going to Pirates Cove in Rapid City. I'm also not allowed there anymore.
What do you have? 18 holes,
Yep.
a club and a ball.
Yep.
Is like $25 kind of what you should expect?
I think so, but this place that we went to, it had 4 different 9-hole courses that were themed. And they all had like, one had like Operation and Tetris and like...
I'm thinking of the lovely amusement park here in Bismarck
where
that
it's
has like a gorilla.
Where it's $3.50 and like you get there one day and they're like, oh, someone stole the zebra again.
Yeah, that's what I am thinking of. So
Yeah.
maybe we are on different.
This place was super nice and in a bar, but it was $14 for 9 holes, which is damn near the same as normal
for
golf.
9 holes. Yeah, that's
For normal golf, it's like $20 for 9 holes of normal golf.
so. If you did all 4, you'd be at like $56.
Yeah, outrageous.
That's, I don't know. Is there hot cart girls?
A couple of the workers were kind of hot.
You need a good looking cart girl. That's for sure.
What if
That
they had a
adds to
cart
the
girl
value.
on the mini golf course that would just ram into a bunch of shit?
That's what I'm saying. Let's get creative with it.
But they had like, it was kind of weird though. They had like one hole was, they had one of those punching machines and you'd punch it. And then if you got over 500, you got a hit from a closer spot. And my sister punched and I didn't know this was possible, but she got a 1.
Wow. I think those machines are just so ridiculous.
My shoulder, like I can't really punch. Apparently I do have some sort of long-term shoulder injury that
Is
only
that self-diagnosed or?
Yeah, but I got it kind of in a weird way. I was super drunk and I fell asleep on it. And I was so drunk that I didn't wake up to like, oh, move, I'm sleeping on my shoulder wrong. So I woke up the next day and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I feel like that is just a sign of, our aging.
Yeah.
Because I'm experiencing the same thing. I'm getting injuries while sleeping
It's like
somehow. And
someone
it's just like,
sprained-
wait a minute.
I sprained my ankle when I fell asleep.
It's supposed to be rest and recovery. And I wake up and, I'm hurting.
Bruises.
What's happening?
Just beat the shit out of myself when I'm sleeping. But yeah, that was my trip to Omaha. It was fun. Got you some stickers. Saw some
Thanks,
baseball.
man. Omaha. Hoy. Sounds like a good time. Glad you checked it out. Got the experience of a lifetime. Sounds like a hell of a baseball game. So cherish that forever for me. Okay?
Will do.
But let's get into some baseball picks while we're at it. While we're on the subject, baseball is back. And we have to do our World Series picks at some point here. So I don't know if you have any odds pulled up. I did pull them up.
I don't do that.
But I did see there was already a bench clearing altercation already. Did you see that?
No, for who?
Boy, I should have wrote that down. But it was the most uneventful bench clearing brawl ever. So that's where I want to ask you, do you think that they're overrated or perhaps underwhelming?
Most of them are. Like, it's usually only like one good shot.
We should make a guideline that it's like, okay, you can't clear the bench until somebody is either charging someone or a punch has been thrown. Is that a good guideline?
I think you need to let them get a couple punches in before, because it's usually they square up and then like a catcher or a first baseman just drills the batter.
I am actually an advocate. I'm not a fighter. I don't get it. It's ugly. Like UFC's cool, but I'm talking like street fights and shit. I'm against that. I don't like that. I don't like when people like go try to be all physical. However, what I will say is when there is like a fight, let's just say a bar fight or out in the parking lot, there's a bunch of people there. I am actually for holding back the crowd and being like, hey, you know what? Let's just let them release some energy, you know?
Do the Anchorman thing. We're like, they're just talking.
Yeah.
And they're just beating the shit out of each other.
It's like, they're all wound up as is. They're pretty determined to beat the shit out of each other. Let's let them wear themselves out a little bit before we try to take a bull by the horns here.
Blue Jays and Tampa Bay Rays. The benches cleared after an incident at third base.
Well, I think there's been multiple. I thought it was like a Brewers game. Regardless, it was like it didn't justify what happened, and then like because
did
takes
the bullpens come?
Yes,
So the bullpens get there, and the thing's already over.
No, all it takes is they're in the dugout, and like a little bit of a petty play happens, and all it takes is like 2 or 3 guys to just like come out of the dugout. The other dugout sees that. Then it's just a chain reaction. Then the one I saw, the bullpen came out but like stayed at the warning track. It's like, okay, you either sprint or jog to the mound or wherever the fight's happening, or you stay in the bullpen. Don't stand on the warning. What are you going to do? Are you just getting a better view?
I'm thinking of this Cubs pitcher who's a psychopath. Like, like the benches start clearing and he's in the bullpen. And he just reaches into his bag and grabs like some nunchucks out or something. He's just like
a loaded handgun.
Tucks it.
It's like Walter from The Big Lebowski, ready to locked, cocked, and ready to go.
Tucks it into the back of his ears. He's like, "Let's go, boys!" Has like an American flag just running in.
I could see it. That's why I was gonna carry a shank with you.
There's a right answer here, and what team do you think, if there was a full out brawl, you would want to like? Who would win, like league wise? Who would have the best?
Like best brawlers?
Yeah.
In the league currently?
Yep.
Jesus, Matt, you're really putting me on the spot. When I was doing my World Series research 4 minutes before we started recording, I was reading an article from last October.
I accidentally searched NBA standings instead of MLB standings.
We are just on a heater here. No brains, no headache.
But I think I'm just going to go with the Yankees just on pure size. Because there was a bench clearing brawl where Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge were in the middle of it, and they're literally just like grabbing guys and like throwing them off. Like it wasn't even fair.
Like part of me just wants to say the Rangers, not because they won the World Series, but they have Adolis Garcia, who's just yoked.
I was thinking too, the Phillies would be kind of fun because Schwarber is a shit brick house, and Bryce Harper is a psycho.
Yeah,
and I feel like Castellanos would just come in throwing helicopter like Donkey Kong fists.
I don't know. I just like the days of the the Carlos Zambranos and the
Milton Bradley, who like if he struck out, even if he was swinging, and he would still get kicked out of the game for telling the ump he sucks, even though he swung at a strike.
No, I'm trying to think of pitchers who are white dudes with mustaches who look like they're in their mid-40s who run security on the weekends at their local
Nolan Ryan
music venue.
When he just
David Wells.
Yep, that would be a good one. He was notorious for he had like a no-hitter or he pitched a perfect game, and the night before he had drank like 40 beers.
Maybe the Astros, just because they're in Houston. It's a tough market.
Altuve would just get stepped on. They have too much star power. I think the Braves could be scrappy.
Anyway, bench clearing brawls. I think they're just the league needs. I mean, it'd be ridiculous for the league to be like, okay, can only clear the benches if this happens. But there's got to be some sort of parameter. Can't the managers get together ahead of the game, and be like, all right, what are we doing prison rules today? Are we trying to keep it clean? A lot of families here. What are we doing?
I think you got to do the hockey rules. Like, you can't just like, because they go in like mosh pit style. I think you need to grab someone.
But the hockey, it's very clear when you flick off your gloves, and it's like it's a universal sign of I'm gonna kick your ass.
There was a hockey game last week that started, and there's five people on each team, and they just all fought each other.
I saw that. That's awesome.
There's 3 refs. What are you supposed to do in that case?
Well, and I
shut the lights off.
I did see the video of it, and you could tell the ref who was at this, dropping the puck was almost hesitant to do it because like the 2 centers weren't down and ready. They were just like All right, drop the puck.
I think one of the centers they sent out there because I knew this was going to happen was just a defenseman.
It's the old enforcer.
Yeah, just like you're going to take. He's like, I've never taken a face-off. Great.
I mean, if you're playing in the NHL, you should have a little bit of diversity in the roles you play, at least, skater-wise. But World Series picks, we do this every year.
Can we take the Cubs out of it?
No, you can pick the Cubs if you want. You can go first, and what we're going to do is 2 American League, 2 National League. You're probably thinking to yourself, wow, that's a lot of teams. And there's a reason for that. It's because I don't want Matt to choose one team and me to choose one team and then neither make the playoffs. And we're like, okay.
Didn't that happen last year?
No, we've done a lot of teams, but I was thinking of our reasoning.
Okay, I'll go first, and I'm going to go to the American League, and I'm going to take the Yankees.
If you just do the New York and LA teams, that's fine, but
no,
I'm going to play that to my advantage if that's what you do.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
I got to keep track of this. One sec. Got to do the old...
What are we playing for?
I don't know, $100.
That works.
Okay, Matt went New York
Yankees.
I think he plays for the Yankees. All right. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. I'll take the Braves.
Okay, that was my next pick. I don't want to do a homer pick, so I'm going to go with the National League, and I'm going to go with the Cubs.
Ooh, you fell for it, didn't you? I actually had to have a pep talk with myself and tell myself to not take the Cubs. It's a reverse jinx. If they end up winning, that's fine. But
it's an emotional hedge.
I don't know. With all my favorite teams right now are they're kind of at a weird spot.
All right.
I mean,
you're up.
Yeah, you experienced Sam Darnold. How do you think I feel?
You guys have 2 first-round picks. You're going to trade them and get J.J. McCarthy or Drake May.
Yeah, but we still have Sam Darnold breathing the air of the TCO Performance Center.
I mean, it's always tough when you get him on the team because you have to custom make a helmet for his humongous head.
There's no way the Rangers repeat. Right?
I don't know. I'm totally not going to take the Rangers with my next pick.
I'm on FanDuel Sportsbook.
I'm on MLB standings on Google.
Okay, so you're just going with what people are after like 2 weeks of baseball.
Uh-huh.
It's a bold move. I'm going to go with the Houston Astros. As much as I hate it. These are the same picks I took last year.
I will take... Are they the Texas Rangers?
Correct. They're in the AL.
So I'm done with the AL.
Correct. The Lone Rangers. Okay, I have...
You need an NL team?
I don't know why FanDuel Sportsbook thinks the Phillies are going to be so good. I thought they were garbage. Are they good? I guess they went to the World Series, 2 years ago?
Yeah. They got a lot of star power.
I can't do that, though. I took the Braves, so I don't want to double down in the same division. So I will go with another AL team, and I will take the... Okay, this is ridiculous.
Excuse me.
This is some riveting stuff here on No Brains, No Headache. Some of the best. You know what? Let's spice it up a little bit. I will take the Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh, I like that pick. Mainly because that wasn't my next pick. I will take the...
You're on the NL.
That changes it a little bit.
You have one NL. We both have NL.
I will take the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's a good pick. But we all know they're just going to piss it down their leg in the NLCS or something.
Oh, 100%.
They're going to win 103 games, have a Cy Young Award winner, Rookie of the year.
Ohtani's going to hit 55 home runs, then realizes that he took like the other team to win and bet against the Dodgers and throw the game, and then we're going to have a White Sox, Black Sox situation.
So according to FanDuel, the Dodgers and Braves have the best odds, and then the Phillies. Why are the Phillies so high? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
The Phillies are good. I would see if I were you, and I'm not, I would go with the Phillies, Padres, or D-backs.
Yeah, I'm going to go D-backs just because, I mean, they kind of came out of nowhere last year, but maybe ride that wave.
Well, they like signed like Jock Peterson and shit. So I mean, they have a good team. Actually, I don't know if that's true.
Okay. Well, those are our picks. Matt has Yankees, Rangers, Cubs, Doyers. I have Braves, D-backs, Astros, Orioles.
All right, lock that in. I'll forget about it until the playoffs.
Sounds good.
What else we got on the agenda today? New TV shows and movies. Have you watched any new shit recently?
I do. I'm craving a fruit snack. One second.
Okay, go for it. I will say that I watched The Gentleman on Netflix, and I found it was really good. Like, I thought it was really good, but now that I'm thinking back on it, I don't know if it was that good.
What's it about?
It's this guy who's like a duke or something.
Dukes?
In England, and he inherits like a farm or his estate, and then he finds out that they're growing a shitload of pot on it.
Okay.
And then so he gets in with like all these gangsters and stuff, and it's like it's kind of good. I mean, in the moment I was like, this is an awesome show, and now that it's done, I'm like, I don't know if it was that good.
Well, I'm currently locked out of Netflix. I was borrowing my sister's.
Dude, they've been Hulu cracked down on it,
and they won't. It will not let me be a thing. But I was at a friend's, so I was like, "Hey, you have Netflix, huh?" It was nice after not having it for so long. I did rewatch the movie Shot Caller.
Does that have
his homeboy from Game of Thrones is in there? I don't know what one he is from Game of Thrones, but
yeah,
he's the main character.
Yeah, I think
it's about prison. He gets I don't know, like a manslaughter or something. The dude D-dubs it across town on having a good night, and then gets in an accident. He's drunk.
Yeah, because he's like a business dude, and then
and then he turns hard. He gets hard.
Yeah,
it's super badass. I was just craving that. I haven't seen it in a while. I watched that. A little Rust Valley.
You see, I've been like kind of rewatching Game of Thrones, but it's one of those that I'll just put on and then immediately just. But the new House of the Dragon comes out in like a month, so I'm pretty jazzed up for that. But I'm like still looking for stuff to watch, and I think I'm just gonna go into the true crime documentaries.
That could be good, but you have to be in the mood for it. You can't force it. It's got to be organic.
I heard of one on Netflix. It's like 3 1-hour episodes, and it's bananas, but I don't know what it's called.
You could always just go with Vampire Diaries.
I could get back in. I haven't finished it yet.
Oh,
it was so good to start. Like, I was in it thick.
Is it declining? Would you say?
It wasn't as good as when it started.
Excuse me as I eat a few fruit snacks here.
And it gets kind of weird because it's like the people are supposed to be playing high school people, but then they're like, oh, it's like 4 years into it. And it's like, you look like you're 35. And you're like, entering my junior year of high school. It's like, that's not how this works.
Yeah, I've been watching Euphoria.
I heard that is nuts.
It's wild.
What else? I've been trying to watch. I'm like 4 episodes into the new. What's the one on HBO with Homegirl from?
Oh, True Detective.
Yeah,
season 4.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, the ending's a bit underwhelming.
Okay,
so
yeah, I
think I just ruined it for you.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna finish it now.
No, dude, Euphoria is nuts. Actually, I watched the pilot episode a while back. I thought it was fine, but I just didn't get into it. And yeah, there's. Oh, I actually wrote a joke about this, and maybe we want to run a bit by you real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so in Euphoria, one of the main characters is transgender.
Yep.
I think both in real life and part of the plot. I know for sure in real life, but I think that's actually part of the plot.
Yep.
I've
heard that.
Like, it's very subtle how they explain it. First time I watched it, fooled me. Had no idea. I was very confused. I guess I don't know what the pronouns are. So they, I'm going to go with they. Is that a good neutral one?
That's fine.
They do a really good job. Great acting. But Euphoria is nuts. So my bit that I wrote, it's on my large catalog of notes. Like, you ever heard the saying, if you're going to do anything in life, like, do it well or be good at it? Like, have you heard that? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Am I making shit up?
If you're gonna
do anything in life, like, be good at it. Or
if you're gonna do it right.
Sure. Something, yeah, go with that. Then I was thinking, you know, in any aspect, whether it's your hobby, your career, what, you know, your health, whatever, you should do well. But definitely want to be a good transgender person. Like, you don't want to be a bad one. And then my line is like, you can look like I don't know.
Scarecrow.
Let me pull it up. I was just running through this the other day. I think I got it. Oh, wait. Gotta find it. There it is. Okay. Being good or bad at being transgender. You could see someone and at first glance they look like an attractive woman. Or you could see someone and at first glance they look like Ron Jeremy. Big difference. If you're going to do anything in life, be good at it, especially being transgender. Would you agree? That is like...
yeah, it's more of a statement than a joke.
Well, I still have to write more of it,
Yeah.
but it's the good premise there.
Yeah,
Just
I think
like,
you got something there.
I'm not making fun of transgenders.
No.
It's just like,
There was
if you're going to be transgender, better be good at it. Like, meaning like in Euphoria, I was so fooled. I had no idea the first time I watched it that character was a man who transitioned into a woman and plays an HBO show very well. I'm praising them for their performance, by the way, just for the people who devil's advocates out there.
How does Sydney Sweeney look?
Oh my god. It's unfair. It's
Dude,
like, it's bad.
Jahungas.
Yes. Copyright NBNH Jahungas. But yeah, I mean, but she also plays like the most cliche character.
Honestly, she's a terrible actress.
I think it's her character arc. Like, I guess I should watch something else.
I watched Anyone But You. The one with Glenn Powell.
Is that the one that everyone was
yeah,
raving about?
It's a rom-com. I don't even think I finished it, but I was like, this is okay, but it's not my genre of movie.
Genre, I believe.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's just like anything in life. If you're aesthetically pleasing, it's more enjoyable to watch or be around. So yeah, having Sydney Sweeney in the show, I'm not like every time she comes on the screen, I'm like, ugh. You know,
Gross.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's like, speaking of no one's looking, but no, she's great. It's just like the whole, like the plot and like what happens is these high school kids. Zendaya is just a drug addict who like can't help herself, but like continually to just like relapse every once in a while.
I've noticed that in a lot of like the 13 Reasons Why show. It's like they portray a lot of teenagers of having hard drug habits.
Yeah, or like homegirl, she's like the bigger girl of the group, but she finds her way and confidence through, she starts with like selling feet pics, like legit selling feet pics, and then now she evolves into having like a whole, I don't know, like YouTube channel pretty much, and like has like personal subscribers that like she like video chats with, and they like send her money and buy stuff from her Amazon wish list. Like, it's so realistic to what people actually do. You know, you see a Instagram model and they have the link and it's like, here's my Amazon wish list.
Yeah. Check out Bang Energy.
Exactly. But you don't really see like how it works, and I know it's HBO and it's Hollywood. It's doctored up a lot more than it actually is, but like that's what her character does in the show, and I think it's just really interesting to see. A lot of chicks are getting banged in this show.
Is there any worse of a brand change than HBO changing to Max?
I guess to me it doesn't really matter that much.
But you have like a notorious brand, and then you're like, you know what? Let's make it harder on ourselves. We're going to be called Max now.
Yeah, I mean, that's just corporate America for you, man. HBO home box office. The box office is on its way out. Matter of fact, it has left. The box office doesn't matter as much anymore. You got to go short. You got to go sweet. You got to be clear and concise. Max.
Dude, speaking of DVDs, I found a bunch of porn in my garage.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Like DVD porn?
Yes.
Where did it come from? Is it yours?
No. My roommate, someone was putting lunch boxes in his car full of porn.
Like there's porn in your garage right now.
Yeah, we can go look at it after this.
They have Boner Jams 08.
Probably. There's VHSs in there.
Oh man. They gotta have a VHS player. I don't. I don't.
Go over to your mom's house, just borrowing the VHS. Don't even unplug it.
The only reason I have a DVD player is because I still have an Xbox 360 to play NCAA football on.
Oh yeah, I do too. Now that I think about it.
So there's just a box of porn that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, because I was kind of trying to clean stuff out of my garage, didn't really get far, and I was like, "Hey, Hef, is that garbage?" And he's like, "No, it's porn." And I was like, "What?"
So did he just inherited this box of porn?
Like people kept it was like a prank on him or something. They were just giving him porn.
Oh, really good prank. Totally got me. Yeah. Speaking of no one's looking.
Yeah, but so that's what we can do tonight.
Let's watch porn together. We're going to do the thing of raise your hand when you get a boner.
We haven't started.
It's the courteous thing to do. If we're going to do a fucking group watch of porn together, excuse my language, but my goodness.
What were we talking about before?
Euphoria.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, there's...
I'm just... Whoa. We're not off this yet. Who has a box of porn these days?
I don't know. I feel like it's something that...
Actually, should we bring it back?
It's like it might be a good thing to have if the world's ending and the internet goes down.
Yeah. You'll be thanking yourself later.
The box of porn is essentially currency that I could trade for potatoes or something.
And I'm assuming this is like softcore stuff. It's got like a storyline.
I haven't looked at it. I just know it's there.
I mean, I would be shocked if it was DVDs and VHSs of hardcore porn. Like, what?
We can do.
That's what the internet is for, which we're going to get into in a little bit here.
I mean, we can do in some investigative journalism, aka opening lunchboxes full of porn.
Yeah, I mean, I like going through. I like rummaging through shit. It's almost rummage sale season, man. Matter of fact, I saw one the other day. Didn't stop, but.
Yeah, I love a good rummage sale, though.
Maybe we should get rid of some shit first. I'm looking around the studio right now. Yeah. I don't know what was wrong with us. I feel like there was just like 2 summers there where like we couldn't help I couldn't help myself, I guess. I don't know why I'm blaming it on you, but I just couldn't help myself but buy like
any statue or something.
Any sort of pop culture, sports, memorabilia type thing, I would buy. Oh, I like the little knickknacks. Like I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm looking what's with the bobbleheads? What did I think there?
I don't know. A lot of
the Randy Moss ones.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, they're like I got like that NASCAR one at the same place I got a Snapple cooler at, and it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you should get rid of that collector's item. I was watching Cops the other day. Good to watch Cops.
Do you remember 24-hour like live PD when that first came out?
Yeah, that one was kind of interesting. It was like commentary.
I liked that because they're like, we now go to Portland, where it's just a cop like beating the shit out of a prostitute.
Well, I watched that Shot Caller movie on Netflix about homeboy in prison. Super badass. Check it out. Movie review. And then that spiraled me into, it's like an A&E show, but it's all on YouTube. It's called Behind Bars Rookie Year.
Yep.
Where the correctional officers, they're all rookies. They're all like, honestly, yeah, they're all like 18 to like 21. They're so young. And it's in New Mexico. Guess where New Mexico's right next to? Mexico. A lot of illegal immigrants, I can only imagine. A lot of gang activity. Like their South New Mexico prison, 85% of the inmates are gang related. It's like, oh, okay. So.
What if one guy's in there for tax evasion and he's just like, fuck?
Oh, dude, the most recent episodes I was watching started season 2, and so they have a new class of rookies. There's this one gal who they actually put up her height and weight. She's 5'2", 102 pounds. Like, and everyone's commentary about her is like, I'm just concerned about like these guys, you know, I mean,
yeah.
Nobody ever gets attacked in this show, which I'm still kind of waiting for. And they don't show the stabbings, unfortunately, which like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, I mean, you can go on liveleak.com and you can see some shit.
No, but I like the lead up, the drama, but yeah, no, I've been watching that shit lately. And then I was watching Cops as well. So apparently I'm just, I don't know, reliving the good old arrest days. Yeah.
I mean, Live PD I really liked because they'd be like, there was some of the funniest, and even Cops too, like some of the funniest ways guys try to get out of stuff. Like, were you the one stealing people's mailboxes? And he's like, no, and his truck bed's just full of people's mailboxes. Or like, were you drinking and drive? Or like, are you drunk right now? And he's like, no. Does a breathalyzer and blows like a 0.4. And it's like, it could be because I just brushed my teeth. And it's like, that's not how things work.
Yeah, I mean, Cops is just so entertaining as is, but they had somebody pulled over and then, you know, found some, like, a powdery substance. Then they whipped out a drug test kit. I was like, what did they do previous to this? It was just like some guy named Larry who just knows his drugs. All right, snort this. Tell us what it is.
Just get a guy in a straitjacket that they like bring out with one of those long sticks and be like, all right, go do the drugs.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is.
Go do the nose nachos. See how they taste today.
Is that drugs? Yeah. Just do the rest of them then.
Let's let the drugs be done. But yeah, like watching all these shows, just, I don't know. There was on Behind Bars, these two dudes who are rookies still, they do a shakedown of a cell, and then there's like another unit that is like more higher up, the investigation unit, and they shake down the same exact cell 10 minutes later and find like 4 bags of drugs. Like, where was that at? I missed that one.
I don't know why this reminded me of a show that I watched. It's called Dude, You're Screwed. And it's like 5 survival friends, and they pick one of them to like kidnap and then drop off in like a location, and they have 48 hours to like find their way to civilization. But they try to like take any contraband off of them before they like leave. So like they're always walking around like, you know, you're going to get taken in these 2 days. So they like always try to hide like Leathermans or like matches or something that'll help them. And there was one dude who's a football coach, and they like took him down, and then they're searching him, and he just has an axe duct taped to his back.
That's where it's at. It reminds me of in Heavyweights when they start unloading the snacks, and the dude's like, "Hey, new guy, come over here and get these salamis off my back." And he's got cured meats duct taped to his back. That's dedication.
Or the one guy just has melted chocolate on his back.
Everybody get a taste of English.
Yeah.
I guess I was just thinking of since I had my jokes up. One bit I'll run by you, and once again, it's just a premise. But lately, I've been seeing a lot of musicians, like local musicians, Nashville, whatever. I follow all sorts of them, and I've seen them promoting their stuff, which is good. But I have started noticing people have started adding the no cover. It's like, good, I wasn't going to pay anyway. I don't know. Do you have to specify no cover?
I don't really know since I'm not a musician.
Matt is so ginger that even when he takes black and white pictures, his hair is still red.
It's also still balding.
What did you think of my tried to work it in at open mic last week, but my joke here is I hate when snobs say they only drink on holidays. It's like, okay, well, it's Ford truck month, so let's get on board.
Dude, do you find any reason to drink in North Dakota?
Small town North Dakota, they don't have a town drunk there. They all take their turns doing their part.
That is true.
I was cuddling with a chick, and we were ass to ass, butt naked, and at one point I felt her phone vibrate. Then I realized both our phones were over on the nightstand. Oh boy. Some of these are ridiculous. You ever read your jokes, and it's just like, well, okay, what are we doing there?
Yeah, I usually end up deleting a lot of them.
Never delete a bad joke. Matt, you claim that the internet is just a fad, and you think it's gonna...
I mean, I think eventually we got to find something else to do.
Like, you think eventually we'll just go backwards?
I think so. Like, I predicted 2 years ago that in 5 years, home phones are going to make a comeback.
Speaking of which, we still have to test out that football phone.
Yeah, I have a phone jack in this room, and if I pay, like, I can't imagine it's more than like $6
We're
a
gonna
month.
see if it works first.
Well, either way, you can go to Best Buy, and they still sell home phones. I'm not sure who buys them, but
I think that's more of a, a business office setting thing.
But everything that comes out or everything that there is to do revolves around the internet. I feel like eventually we gotta find something that isn't the internet.
Gotta get back.
Yeah, I think Spike Ball was close.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That huge box of porn is going to be really valuable.
I mean, it's like if the apocalypse hit now and the internet got fried. What are we doing?
What if the solar eclipse fried the internet?
Which would have been great. Granted, most of my job is internet based, but well,
aren't you trying to get out of that?
Depends on the day.
Do you ever text your boss and ask if you're still on?
Dude, I literally walked into the office today, walked into the conference room, and then I heard a whoosh. There was water everywhere.
Was your roof leaking?
I don't know. Like that was, I just
aren't
like
you on the bottom floor?
Yeah,
how's the roof leaking?
I don't know. Like they're like, oh, there's water in the basement too, and I was like, that doesn't explain how it got in here. And also, so they have like those huge fans that they use to blow up bounce houses.
Yeah,
they were just running the whole day, so it couldn't even be on the phone because it was just the whole day.
Yeah, that's just insult to injury. You're already at work. You got to deal with your work bullshit, and now apparently we're flooding.
Yeah, it was. Whoosh.
Was your office wet?
Mine isn't. But last time when the roof leaked and toilet water went everywhere, my office took some collateral damage there.
You gotta avoid the toilet water.
Yeah, this was just rain water.
Toilet wine, however, quite lovely.
Yeah.
They know
Finish
what they're
the
doing.
sentence. I love toilet
wine. Everybody knows that. Well, we'll see what happens here with this whole internet thing. That would be the end of the podcast, too, because then we could peacefully put this to rest.
Yeah, we would just have to go maybe AM radio.
Now we're talking.
I always want to get a show on AM radio. It's like,
okay, I've thought of that too. I thought that would be fun.
You get no brains, no headache from 7 to 8, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Are we able to not swear for an hour?
I think I could.
I think I could too, actually.
We have a dump button.
Should we try it?
I've only said
next
fuck.
Episode, swear jar.
Okay, because
I've
only
Bring your
said,
ones.
I mean, you can't really say porn either or pedophile. There's
Can
like
you say pornography?
I don't know how that would be better.
It's like an art form.
I got a video flagged on TikTok last week because we were talking about Cole's grandma smoking weed.
Really?
Yeah, it was dumb as hell.
She has glaucoma. Well, she's dead.
Yeah, she has a lot of things now.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but then like you go to the next video and a chick is just her asshole is out. And it's like, I'm not.
Well, now we know. Assholes in, grandma smoking weed out.
I think you
Let's
get to
learn from that.
Yeah, it's just dumb as shit. And I mean, I think I've only said fuck like 4 times, including that one. I think I could not swear.
I kind of been cussing like a sailor lately. I need to go to church, maybe. I don't know. That'd probably make me swear more. But
I mean, next week, let's do an AM radio station that we try not to say anything that could get banned on the radio.
On our next episode, Swear Jar, and we're going to act as if the FCC is closely watching us.
Yeah.
But I did see, because our friends from Fargo are comedians, Dave and Blaze, they have that. It's like Tuesday mornings.
Yep.
And they always like post about it, which they should. But I'll see it on Tuesday morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine.
I listen to it sometimes and like text Blaze like, nice song choice, because he played like an Eve 6 song one time. And he's like, yeah, it's nice when Dave's gone. I can actually play the music I want to.
That's the way to go. Well, is radio on its way out? Where's that at? We're talking about the internet. Where's radio?
I listen to radio all the time. I haven't listened to FM radio in probably 5 years. I'm an AM radio guy.
I mean, I will in like one of my vehicles, because that's just what I have is AM or FM and AM radio.
Yeah.
I get made fun of for it sometimes. It's like AM radio is quite nice.
Well, sometimes I have my phone hooked up and I'm like listening to a podcast through it, but for whatever reason, when I'm on a different channel, I have to turn it up really loud, and then I'll switch it to AM and it'll still be really loud and it'll scare the shit out of me.
But if I do have the option of like hooking up a phone, Bluetooth, aux cord or whatever, I'm not that picky about like my vehicle.
If I'm going a long way, then I'll plug the phone into the aux, but if I'm like my normal commuting around, AM radio all day long.
Like I had not one but 2 flat tires recently.
Was it on the truck?
No, it was on my other vehicle.
Oh shit! The
So
truck.
I had to buy new tires.
Oh, that sucks. Like $600.
Close, a little more, but
Jeez, yeah.
yeah. Let's just say I will be selling my blood and semen separately. So anybody wants some, reach out. I'll gladly get you some.
What would you do if she's single? Start selling blood and semen and head south.
Yeah, maybe that could be a bit of like selling your blood and semen, but you don't understand that you have to like go to a clinic. You just have like Facebook Marketplace, like a little cup that's white.
I think that's illegal.
Your own?
Dude, I said,
but that's what I'm saying. You're confused. Like you've heard of other people sell their blood and semen, but you don't realize you have to like go to a clinic and have it professionally done. You're just on some sort of on the line Facebook Marketplace, and you know how like they take pictures of it.
There's a place
like
for you to sell
jars.
that, and it's you go to back pages. Like you can buy a prostitute and Jordan's blood and semen.
But it can't. Isn't semen?
What if you sold your?
You have to stay at a certain temperature for anything to be.
I think
malleable.
Yeah, I think like what if you sold your clean piss to people for drug tests? They just failed the shit out of it. Dude, one time I was taking a guy's...
If I got asked to piss for somebody, I would. Because I'd be like, are you serious? Yep, you can have my piss.
It would be out cold. I don't need to piss in a cup to tell you I do drugs. Or ask your employer, hey, do we drug test? No, why? No reason. All right.
We're having fun.
Yeah. Can we get out of here?
Yeah, tell the well, I guess upcoming shows.
Yeah, we got a show April 18th at Stadium Sports Bar. That one's going quick. I think there's only like 6 or 7 tables left. So get in on that if you are in the Bismarck, Mandan, or greater North Dakota area.
Yeah, join us there. It'll be Matt, Alex Ward, Jim Telly, myself. I'm really excited about it. That's our local watering hole.
I've been there 4 times in the last 5 days.
Honestly, having a show there is really good incentive to be on my best behavior when I'm there. It's like, all right, we can't screw this up.
Yeah. I actually wrote a joke about Stadium, and I'm excited to whip it out.
I already told you one of mine, so hope you're ready for that. I might do something crazy on stage.
Yep.
It's the clock is ticking and time is winding down. I'm procrastinating on my little project I had planned. But I think I'm still going to do it.
Yep.
I have a backup plan that will still get the job done. So Jordan Weichel, may be doing something on stage that I've never done before. In that manner, that is.
Okay, well, that box of porn is not going to look at itself, so make sure to follow us on social media. Just search No Brains, No Headache. You'll pop up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You can watch the show, and make sure to leave us a review on Apple or Spotify.
Up next, episode 196.
This is a freestyle off the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again, 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 again. I do it only